Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the N1ISB Newcomers Roundtable, which meets on the first and third Monday evenings at or about 19:30 on this repeater. And before we begin, is there anyone who has emergency or priority traffic to pass? Please go ahead now. Okay, no stations heard. The purpose of the roundtable is to welcome newly licensed hams and newly upgraded hams to the VHF portion of the spectrum to enable them to meet with each other and with more experienced hams for the purpose of asking and answering questions, exchanging information, and building friendships. Your moderator this evening is November 1, Alpha November Delta. My name is Doug, and I'm in Munson, Massachusetts. Okay, we'll go right into check-in, see if anybody wants to join us and have an informal chat this evening. Are there any stations out there wishing to check into the Newcomers Roundtable? Go now.
Here be November 1, Quebec Oscar Victor N1QOV. We put still running commercial power. I have no traffic for the net. Is standing by.
This is K2 JKZ Commercial Power, off here in Albany, no traffic.
Good evening, folks. I have N1QOV, OB from Pittsfield, and I B2JKB, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of noise on your signal, and didn't get your first name.
It's Kilo Delta 2, Juliet Kilo Victor, and it's Peter in Albany.
Okay, Peter, thank you. KB2JKV. And thank you for checking in. Are there any other stations? Please call now.
KC1DAX, checking in.
All right, KC1DAX, welcome, Dave. And anybody have any questions, comments, any topics they would like to bring up tonight before we go any further? Go now.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment. I think that was Peter. Go ahead.
The call here is Kilo Delta 2, Juliet Kilo Victor.
Okay, Peter. When you first came on, there's no problem with the repeater up on the hill there, getting a lot of interference intermittently. That time, very good. Kilo Delta 2, Juliet Kilo Victor. I have that right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Yeah, every once in a while, and you'll notice when someone unkeyed and the squelch tail is hanging on there, there's a bunch of going on there. It's not somebody interfering with your transmission. It's RF flying around up there on the mountain, which of course there are many different stations operating up there. Anyway, I'm sure at some point it'll work itself out, or perhaps Eric will have to go up there and straighten it out. He's our roving tech there. Anyway, that being time. Is there any other stations wanting to check into the Newcomers Roundtable tonight? Go now.
AB1TC. I'll be here for a little while.
Okay, recognizing Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie. Welcome, Paul. Yeah, very good. Anybody have any topics they'd like to discuss? Bring them to the round table now. Kind of an informal chit-chat situation here, and the idea, of course, is for newly licensed ham or newly upgraded hams to ask any questions, but usually it winds up being a bunch of us old-timers. So go ahead. Well, okay, then don't go ahead. Captain N1QOV, you have any comments? Please go.
Hey, I'm like, what's his name? K1KTT. Never says anything. This is what? The Newcomers Roundtable? Okay, never mind. Good stuff here locally up in Peru, the town of Peru. The amateur radio station, K1TTT, usually does live streaming video when there's a contest. And he's also got cameras set up and a wealth of knowledge. So looking to check out somebody's shack over the internet, that's K1TTT. Usually at night it's kind of dark. But contest times, for the most part, he's on Ustream Broadcasting. What else? I was going to mention another good source of information as far as amateur radio. Alpha Charlie 6 Victor. He's got a big assortment of amateur radio and whatever related stuff.
1FFK.
Also, SDR.org, websdr.org, if you're not familiar with that. There's a bunch of amateur radio stations all over the world that have their radio sucked up to computers, and you can actually tune a radio and or check your own audio and signal via the computer, the internet. Anyway, that's the start, and we'll pass it around, see what happens.
Okay, thanks, Obi. Yeah, I have very little knowledge of SDR or software-defined radio. I did have Signal Link, I guess they called that little box to connect the computer to the amateur radio, and I used it a few times, and then I said, I don't even really need that. I can do that with the computer without. It's not. I didn't consider it playing amateur radio, but anyway, it was fun for me because and I'm sure Obi. I don't know if anybody else does. I can't put up much of an antenna here where I live. Let me drop this. So I did play with it for a while, but and then I passed it on to some other ham, and I still actually have Echo Link on the computer. So I mean, I can still go on there and do the same thing. I just don't use the radio, but I don't do it anyway. If I want to go on the internet to make connections with somebody, I can do that. Anyway. Very good, Obi. Thank you for that. And yeah, talking about Dave, Triple T up there in Peru. He has a magnificent station. Anybody has a computer, put his call sign in, is it a K8? No, it's K1 Triple T. And you will see some outstanding photos of some very large towers and stuff. Okay, KD2JKV. Peter, what do you have to say?
Two things. Maybe one, we should change the words of the song from I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas to I'm Dreaming of a Warm Christmas. Going to be record-setting in the 70s for Christmas Eve. And two, yeah, you can get your own SDR dongle, like $20 on Amazon. I have my own SDR dongle. It's kind of cool to play with and seeing what frequencies you can kind of find and who's on what.
Oh, very good, Peter. Yeah, that's one thing about it. You can bring up on your screen on your computer, and you can see who's on there and what's going on that way. That was kind of a handy thing. But like I say, I can still do that without the radio. So I kind of said, well, why do I have this? And it wasn't $20. I think it was about $100 for that little box, and I gave somebody a heck of a deal. I think I sold it for half of that. But anyway, very good. Yeah, and the Christmas. Oh my goodness gracious! We're gonna have to. Everybody will be in their shorts on Christmas, I guess. It's gone crazy. And of course, the one day. Let me drop. The one day where the weather was quite nasty was the day that we decided to do our ugly sweater POTA, Parks on the Air, activation up on Quabbin Hill, up on by the Quabbin Tower up there. And it was about 34 or 5 degrees, and the wind was blowing 30 miles an hour, and I'll tell you what, it was cold. But it was very successful. We made a lot of contacts, and had a good time, and I'm glad we did it, but at the time, of course, we were all grumbling about how cold it was up there anyway. KC1DAX, good evening, Dave. What do you have to offer?
N1AND, KC1DX, good evening, Doug, and to the rest on the net. Not much. In fact, I am multitasking right now. I also have the 10-meter net, the HCRA 10-meter net going at the same time. So kind of like busy as a cat covering you-know-what here. But nothing new on my end. Same old, just dropped in mostly to say hello, see who was around and what's going on. So with that, I'll give it back to you, Doug, KC1DAX.
Okay, Dave, very good. And before you go, or we don't mean to take you away from the Hamden County net there, how's that new radio working out for you?
I am delighted with it. I'll tell you, it has the DSP features are absolutely amazing. Even on bad conditions, I have no problem pulling out stations. Between the contour, the notch, and the available IPO amplifiers, you can boost signals, completely eliminate the noise. Between the DSP on the IF, which is in the machine, and the DSP on the audio, which is a separate module I bought, it's amazing. That's all I got to say. It's absolutely amazing. I am totally delighted with the radio. It was worth every penny of it, that's for sure. Back to that.
Okay, Dave. Very clever, those Japanese, aren't they? I'll tell you what, I love this 991, and it does everything I want to do. The only thing is, if I'm not actively on the air, or like I am now running a net or something, I put on my little 8900 because it has dual receive. That's the only thing that I miss with the 991. But the like you said, the DSP and the noise reduction and everything on this rig is outstanding. Very, very good rig. Anyway, Paul, if you're still there, Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie, talk to us. sitting here thinking about the comment about the temperature on. Well, actually, it's all this week. I was outside splitting wood all day today, and I wood that I thought I'd never get to. And the thing is, we always pay. Okay, the numbers, the average temperature for every. I looked at the average temperature for the months of December and January. They always are within 2 or 3 degrees. So what that tells me is that we're going to get one brutal week between Christmas and New Year's. Any comments?
Well, I've been saying right along, you know, everybody's been saying, wow, what nice weather and everything. And I said, just wait, because we'll have to pay for this. But I was walking uptown yesterday, and there was the oil, you know, home delivery oil man there, and and I waved at him, and he just he made you know, what are you going to do? I'm sure the oil companies are not liking this, but we'll usually pay. You know what they say: if you don't like the weather in New England, just wait 10 minutes, and it'll come back around. And you're cutting wood. You know, Obi told me, he said he thought you were out putting anti-gel fluid in the diesel engine or something. I don't know. I got a kick out of that anyway. So we'll go back around to you, N1QOV, with applause, please, to see if there's any other stations wanting to join us.
Yeah, this is KC1AGX, Kilo Charlie 1, Alpha Juliet X-Ray, Darren.
Okay, Darren, KC1AJX, I believe, what, Great Barrington?
K1FSK. Yeah, right now I'm mobile. I'm up in Pittsfield. Just got out of college.
Okay, Darren. Obi, what do you got to add?
I'll put it over to AJX. He might be on short time. Huh?
I was going to agree with Paul there about the weather. It's going to be one brutal winter, I think. We're going to get slammed somehow. It's got to happen. I'm in.
Yeah, somehow we usually we have to pay for anything that seems like a gift. Go ahead, Obi.
Okay, I finally found was it ARIS-SSTV, the whatever the heck it is. Anyway, Slow Scan TV, they're going to start doing it, subject to change, December 26th and 27th. The mode will be PD 120, Papa Delta 120. So 27 December, Slow Scan TV from the ISS. This should give you enough time to get ready for that. What else here? Weather-wise, I guess it's supposed to rain for the next 1, 2, 3, or 4 days, so at least it'll be warm, but wet. What else did I have? Yeah, the echo link. That's nice for people that are limited in condos or whatever, and they can get into different repeaters. I've done it. It's pretty cool. Okay, onward and upward. N1QOV, back to net.
Okay, Obi, thank you very much. And good to hear that news from the ISS. I have never made the contact. I tried a few times, but and thank you for on the net. You usually tell us when it's going to be going over, and but I usually miss them. I don't know I don't know why, but anyway,
We'll have to listen in to that, although I don't know what we'll hear for slow scan TV. It's probably just a bunch of noise. Anyway, let me drop this. And there's that big noise that's on our repeater. Very good, 49 degrees and quite warm in beautiful downtown Munson, and they're telling me that it's going to be in the 60s Christmas Eve, and right around 60, I guess, on Christmas Day. So if you're dreaming of a white Christmas around northern New England here, forget it. Yeah, well, anyway, it's like Paul says, we will probably pay in the end. The oil man will get us sooner or later. Okay, Peter, KD2JKV over in Albany. Go ahead.
It's 47 degrees here, and with that weather comment, if you trust the National Weather Service, they say we're not going to get any measurable snow until after the first of the year. So take it for what it's worth, and that's what the Albany National Weather Service says. So we'll see how good they are with that.
Yeah, I hear you about that, Peter. Of course, I'm way down here in Hampden County in Massachusetts, and I usually I'm in communications with Bob Macedo, who is in Taunton National Weather Service, rather than the Albany over there. I'm sure you guys are all listening to the Albany, but I get emails from Bob Macedo in Taunton. In fact, I just got one today about the wind. They're concerned about the wind, and it was quite windy, but it seems to have died down now. Let me drop. So I think the National Weather Service is probably as accurate or more accurate than your average television station. I get a big kick out down here in the Springfield area. There's a young lady on the Channel 22 weather, and I guess she's not a meteorologist. I don't know what she is, just somebody that tells the weather. But I see her sometimes in the morning, and she's always, the meteorologists always use terms that are, appropriate to their education. Let me drop. She always tells, almost every time I see her, she says, at some point during the day, there will be puffy clouds. Puffy clouds. I get such a kick out of that. I don't know why that seems funny to me. I don't know, but I certainly have to laugh when she says puffy clouds. Oh, Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie, how are things over in, well, I got you down as Ringe, but I think you're actually right next to Ringe, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead, Paul. Could be we lost Paul. He did say he was in the middle of doing something. Okay, KC1AJX, Darren, go.
Yeah, I have nothing really to say now, just driving, but I just can't believe how nice it is. I got my windows down in my car, and I'm not even cold.
Yeah, it's amazing, Darren. Well, like we've heard somebody say, and I'll say, we'll probably pay. We'll wind up paying for this beautiful weather. But it has been nice. And as I say, the only day that I could say it was quite nasty was the day we decided to do the ugly Christmas sweater Parks on the Air activation up at the Quabbin Reservoir there. And oh boy, I'll tell you, it was cold. But the propagation was outstanding. I mean, it was just like we started out calling CQ and wound up with a pileup. Good grief, it It was incredible anyway. We had a great time. And glad we did it, although we did gripe a little bit about the cold. And of course, we're talking, the propagation was running south. We're talking to people in North Carolina and Georgia and Florida, and they're saying, ha ha. And back to you, Obi.
Oh yeah, N1 cool. What do we got here for contests, HF and stuff coming up this weekend? The Stu Perry CW thing, but it's only on 160 CW. And another CW, CW thing this coming weekend. And also, what else is here? The next flea market on my schedule is, where they put that? The 6th of February in Springfield, Vermont. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, I'll pass it around. ISS. After the initial one, it's like every hour and a half, and then you lose it for, I don't know how many hours, but an hour and a half in between passes. And the next one is when? Here, I got it here somewhere. Around 10 something tomorrow morning. Back to that, N1 Kilby.
Okay, what they vary what sort of transmission they're doing. Is there any? Do you know at what point they might be doing like sideband or FM transmission? I know they do this, and then the next time around they do something else. And like you say, they're doing slow scan TV. Sometimes they're doing RIDI, whatever. When are they doing the next audio? Do you have that information, Obi?
K1FFK.
No, I don't. They've been sparse and a few in between. Mostly school contacts and packet once in a while, but I guess they're really busy doing science projects and whatever. But geez, I got a couple of different places to look. But anyway, I don't see any regular voice in the near future. N1 Kilby.
Okay, Obi. I'm sure if I stop being lazy and look that up on the internet, I could get that information too. But I don't usually. I usually listen to hear what you say. Anyhow, and you know the school thing. I love that. My best band here with my very limited antenna system is 20 meters, and one weekend, it was a while back now, they had all these schools that have radio clubs. It was a weekend of that, and I talked to several different schools, and I had quite a lot of fun with that. Talking with 10-year-old kids and stuff, and they get excited. They really get into it. And if they can make a contact and stuff and everything else, I think it sparks their interest a little bit, which is good. If we don't use it, we'll lose it, as they say. So that's good. I like to see the young people take an interest and get involved. And Dave, I don't know if you're still with us or if you're over there on the Hampden County net, but I'll turn it over to you for comment. KC1DAX, this is N1AND. Now, I guess he's over there on the 10-meter net. And Paul, last I know, didn't come back, so he was busy doing something. And Darren is mobile. See if you're still with us. KC1AJX, go ahead.
Yeah, there. Anybody know anything about the Yaesu 857D.
I didn't quite get what you said. 857 D was what we were using at the club, and several different people brought stations, but it was so cold we didn't even bother setting them up. We just set up the one, and everybody worked on Rich's 857. Thing works really great. It would not be a good radio for me because everything is too small. I got big ham fist, and I would have that thing all messed up. It's so tiny, but it's amazing radio, and we use an N-fed wire, and that thing just works. I don't know. I think you only have to do better than that wire. You'd have to put up a beam, I guess. Anyway, what was your question, Darren?
I just wondering the quality. Is it pretty good? Do they last for a while? I mean, I don't know. I've been looking into one, but I'm just curious if it's rugged enough. Like, I don't want to buy one and then all of a sudden the band burns out or something.
Oh no, I think anybody that has one would talk good about them. They're really excellent. One of our friends, Ralph from Florence, has an IC7000 ICOM, which is an equally good radio and a little bit easier, I think, to use. The 857 is really great, and of course our friend Dave there, KC1DAX, had an 897, which was a little kind of a larger version, and maybe had, and that was I was very interested in that, but they stopped making that. So the radio I'm talking to you on now is a FT991, which was the replacement for the 897. It goes from 160 meters all the way to 440, and for a single unit like that. If you want something for mobile or anything, I'd say you can't beat that 857 for size and so forth.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, a mobile. And just got to find a mobile antenna that can handle it.
Some of these motorized screwdriver antennas work pretty well. Just got a big jingle bells there on my tablet. Okay. Let's see, where are we? Back to you, Captain. If you have some more to offer, we'd be listening. And I don't know if John is listening, but he's really under the weather. He sounded horrible. And you're sounding better, and he's getting worse, I guess, so. Bug going around, and you guys can keep it up there in Berkshire County. N1QOV, go.
Yeah, okay, well, probably the best place to get ISS information is off the AMSAT, amateur radio space thingy, their AMSAT. They kind of ask you for money to join, but you can get the information. Anyway, where I go is on Twitter AMSAT. They're always updating stuff right there. And kind of wean myself away from emails. But anyway, AMSAT on Twitter is a pretty good place to find things out. I think they're using an 857 aboard the ISS. I heard that somewhere. I'm looking it up, but I don't see it. Anyway, and I think it's one radio you can run full bore. Oh, man. The digital. But anyway, okay, that's all I have here for now, and we'll kill V back tonight.
KC1DAX.
Hey, you went away. I don't know if we're going to allow you back in here. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I hear you, Doug. Actually, what happened, I heard you come back to me, and I had just stopped transmitting on the 10-meter net, but I grabbed the wrong bloody microphone. You know, I've got all three rigs here are hooked up, the 2900, the 897, and the DX1200. So I got three microphones hanging on the rig here, and I grabbed the one for the 897, which of course is turned off. So that's why. And then I heard you come back, so I am still here. 10 meter just shut down. I just wanted to come back and make sure everybody that I wish them all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So KC1DX back to net.
Okay, Dave. This is N1AND, the moderator for the Newcomers Roundtable. And I haven't asked if there was any other station, so I guess I'll take a pause right now and see if there's any other stations that would like to join this baloney session we're having here. This is N1AND. Go ahead.
3A1 ZHM with a quick in and out. Happy holidays all. Glad you could make it tonight. Thanks, Doug, for taking it. I'll be clear.
Okay, John. WA1ZHM. Get better, boy. You're sounding a little rough there around the edges. Flu season, I guess. Everybody's been kind of getting bummed up about it, you know. I'm a fan of Patriots football. I never was, but my son and my son-in-law are like two guys that sit in the living room and scream at the television and jump up and down. And somehow it wore off on me, so I'm always ready to watch the Patriots. And Brady, I guess, was sick, and they weren't sure whether he was going to play, but he did. And of course, they whomped Tennessee, which I guess it was kind of expected that they would anyway. But anyway, yeah, a lot of flu and that kind of thing going around. So take care, John, for sure. Drink a lot of water and walk slow, as they say. Curl up in bed, keep warm. Okay, are there any other stations who would like to check into the Newcomers Roundtable? Go now. Okay, no stations heard. Obi, do you have any more comments that you'd like to make? We're listening. This is November 1, Alpha November Delta.
Just off the top of my head, which is pointed, but anyway. Automatic Position Reporting System, APRS. I don't know if some of the newer guys got into that or whatever, but anyway. That's kind of cool if you don't mind everybody in the world knowing where you are. Let's see, you can get it for a smartphone. I think it's like 99 cents or something, but I have the address here or the app if anybody needs it, or you can look it up, I guess. APRS, that's pretty cool. What else here? What else? I can't think of anything at the moment. And what you'll be back tonight.
Yeah, okay, Obi. I have a new tablet, a Galaxy Tab A 9.7 or something. I don't know what the heck it is. I don't know. It's much larger than the one I used to have. And it has, of course, global positioning, which most of the latest cell phones and so forth have. And I have an app on there for repeater locations. And, you know, it's like a little ARRL repeater directory on the tablet. And you put the location, turn on the location and hit that app, and it will tell you, starting with the closest one to you, where all the repeaters are. And I have it set for 2 meters and 440. You can do other bands as well, but and that's what I was interested in. And boy, it's like 1/2 a second, and you got them all right in front of you there. Very good. I also have another app in there. If anybody wants to look around on the internet, you can find them And you know, I've been in this business. I've been in a ham for a long, long time. But you know, when you go to start operating, I always say, "Well, wait a minute. What's the band edge?" I got the. If I'm in the shack here, I got the thing on the wall here. Let me.
Sign out. Sign out. Over. ATU. Release clear. Repeater. Ready.
Okay. Okay. Wind back. You waited just a little too long to let go. I have the chart on the wall here that says, you know, all the amateur radio bands. But if I'm out somewhere, I always say, you know, we do that. Excuse me. Like when we were up to the Quabbin, what's the bandage? You know, where can we? We don't want to get too close to the bandage. But anyway, I have an app for that too that comes on the tablet instantly, and it's the same as the ARRL chart here. So that's always well. We had a big discussion. I don't know if anybody wants to join in this discussion about 60 meters. How is that supposed to work? You have 5 channels, and where do you operate from center frequency? Anybody want to comment on that?
I'm sure you can find it if you look it up, Google it. But last I was on 60s, really, really, really quiet. Very little QRN. So it's a nice place to hang out if you can find somebody else to go there. N1QLV.
KC1DAX.
Yeah, exactly, Obi. I think one reason it's quiet is everybody's saying, "Well, what are we supposed to do here?" Because the way it's written, it's questionable. And Ralph, KA1V, called the league and asked for an opinion. And before he got through, there were several phone calls back and forth, and they said, "We're going to have to research that and get back to you because." There's a question as to whether you should be 1.5 kilohertz above or below the center frequency. I don't know. Go ahead, Dave.
I just wanted to comment this current issue of QST. I didn't read it, but I was just browsing through it, and there's a 2 or 3 page article about 60 meters. So if you read that, you might be able to answer that question. Over.
Oh, very good, Dave. I didn't look at my copy yet. I just got it today in the mail, as a matter of fact, and haven't looked at it. I didn't see that, but that'll be interesting. Ralph called the league and said, I don't know how to decipher this thing, and before he got done, he had them all baffled down there too. You know, there's 5 channels and there's a center frequency, but it says, as near as I can read it, if you work those channels CW, you're supposed to use CW upper sideband, and I think that's where he was getting hung up. To him, CW was, you know, on the frequency, no sideband, and of course the modern stuff. And this 991, I can go on 60 meters, and those channels are already designated. Let me drop. Well, my big mouth times out again. They're already designated, so and you can't change. You can't change the radio. It goes exactly the way it's supposed to be. So I think that if you read CW and digital emissions must be centered 1.5 kilohertz above the channel frequencies that they give you there. So anyway, there you go. I think everything on 60 meters, as far as I can read, is upper sideband. So there you are. Anybody else want to comment on that? We are open for comments. N1AND.
Comment.
Go.
I read something that they're actually going to open up a couple of the frequencies on 60 meters. I think it's like a 100 kilohertz difference in the frequencies. 2, in January, TS there's an article about SDR if you're interested in that. And as far as the ISS goes, there's a program, a couple satellite tracking programs. I use Orbitron, where you can track the ISS or any of the satellites in real time.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, the 60 meters I think is kind of still in the experimental stage. They have changed one of the channels. They changed the frequency on that, and of course, it makes it hard for these manufacturers of gear like this 991 Yaesu I got goes. It'll only operate on those 5 frequencies. So if they change something, then you're out of luck because you can't change it. It's not tunable, like the VFO or anything. It goes right on the channel. It's kind of like you go you tune the multi knob. It just goes click 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 one frequency to the other. Anyway. There you are with that. So that's good information. I got to look at that new. And if anybody has December's QSD, let me drop. If anyone has December's QST, look on page 20, and you will see all of us ragamuffins on, I believe, Mount Tom last year doing the ugly Christmas sweater parks on the air. So we decided, well, we got to do it again. This is the second annual Parks on the Air. We took a lot of pictures, and I guess probably Rich KC1 AEO will send another one down to the league. Maybe we can get in the mag again. Anyway, we have a lot of fun doing it. It's just kind of silly thing, but I made 11 contacts, and we were there no more than probably just a little less than 2 hours. It was so cold, but we had a heck of a good time. And, we yelled out CQ, we're doing Parks on the Air, and bam, everybody was coming. It was almost like a pile up there. Okay, I don't know where I was here. Everybody's jumping around. KC1DAX, do you have anything to add?
N1AND, KC1DX, no negative, Doug. Heck, I'm going to check on out of here, so I'll just say 73 to all. Merry Christmas if I don't get in contact with you before then. Safe and happy holidays, and that's about it. KC1DAX, I will be clear, and QRT after your final, Doug.
Yeah, okay, Dave. Yeah, we missed you on Saturday there. I hope you can come next time. I understand what you had to do, but happy holidays to you as well. And in case I don't talk to you, and enjoy that new 1200 there. I'm sure you're having a good time with it for sure. Anyway, I'm going to turn it. I don't know if Paul's still there or not. Oh, we'll try it and see if he's still hanging in. AB1TC. This is N1AND. Yeah, I guess we lost Paul. And Darren, he was mobiling around, so I don't know if he's still with us. KC1AJX, are you still there? Okay, they're fading out on me. Maybe it's time to say bye-bye. I'll start at the top again. Obi, do you have anything to add before we leave?
Who, me? Your feet don't fit nowhere. What do we got? Well, I was going to say, regarding your mention about band limits, you think with all the fancy junk they're putting in radios now, they would say, hey, what is your ham license? And they'll enter it in, and it would automatically tell you the limits or beep when you got out of your range and whatever. So, but anyway, I think there's somewhere you can say, hey, you know what they should have on the internet. But anyway, yeah, something else here. Oh yeah, the app for APRS.FI for the smartphones tracks you and other amateur radio stations and a few other things, I guess, and it brings it up on a Google map. Also, something. Oh, There's a ton of amateur radio related apps for the smartphones. The last one I had, I haven't used it in a while, but anyway, it decodes CW as do some of the computer programs. But anyway, if you're going to close it down, this will be my last. If not, I'm hanging in here. And the net is being recorded. N1QV, back to net.
Okay, Captain. I don't know if we need to be recorded or not. Yeah, well, the FT991 I'm talking on won't operate out of the bands, and most of the newer stuff, I guess, is designed that way. But it will operate right to the edge. You know, if you're on 20 meters, it'll go to 14,350. Well, if you're operating upper sideband, you're going to be outside of the band limit, so you have to watch that. But I have other stuff. I probably shouldn't say this on the air. I have a Baofeng HT that will transmit all over the place and outside of the amateur bands quite handily. So you have to watch yourself with that. I happen to have it on a different frequency that I was monitoring. It has a wideband receiver. And I had it on a frequency that I was monitoring, and I went to pick it up, and I happened to grabbed it by the push to talk button, and boom, there it was. And I said, "Oh, I'm not even supposed to be there." So some of the rigs you got to watch out for. And of course, hey, let's face it, if you had a homemade rig, you wouldn't have band limits on it. You got to be smarter than the radio, I guess. Let me drop. Okay, this is N1AND, moderator for the Newcomers Roundtable. And I'm asking, is there any other comments, questions, anything for the net before I leave?
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
The KD2JKV. On those Baofangs, if you put it on the chirp software, you can set it for the duplex for off, and it won't let you transmit on the other frequencies.
Oh, really? I didn't know that, Peter. You know, I have a UP5R that I just could not, and I defy anybody to program it manually. And I went on YouTube, and there was some different amateurs on there that had the videos. Do this, and I followed them. You know, right to the letter. You could program anything in that radio you wanted, but you could not put it in memory. And I don't know what you know. I thought I was doing something wrong, but after about 100 tries, I said something's wrong here. But anyway, then somebody told me download Chirp, to which I did, and oh boy, it was so easy. Just type in what you want. But the radio will transmit where we're not supposed to be as amateurs, including law enforcement. Anyway, I'll just shut up at that point. Anyway. Okay, thanks for that, Peter. I'm going to look into that. Any other comments before we go?
One more thing with the chirp software. If you just go down your list of your channel, of your frequencies, and the ones you don't want to be on, you'll see this thing that says duplex, and you'll have a blank space, minus, plus, and off. If you click that to off for each of the frequencies you don't want to be on, with the chirp software, it won't let you transmit.
Oh, okay. So, but I mean, you'd have to put in each frequency that you didn't want to use. Is that what you're saying?
If you already have them on the radio, you can put in the chirp software and download what's on the radio to your chirp software. So then you just go through that and say, okay, well, I don't want to transmit on this frequency, I don't want to transmit on this frequency. Then you set the duplex to off for each one of those frequencies. Let me drop. And then you just re-upload that to your radio, and every time you try to go to transmit on that frequency, it won't let you.
Oh, okay. Cover those Chinese. Well, you know, the UV5R that I have, or I also got the 8-watt one, but it has a wideband receiver. You can put it anywhere you want to receive, and that's good. But but it will also transmit where you're not supposed to be. So I'll have to look into that. So basically, what you're saying, though, Peter, is I'd have to take that particular frequency and then remove it from so it wouldn't transmit there. But of course, you know, I could go 10 kcs and then it would transmit. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, say you have a public service frequency in that you monitor, but you don't want to transmit on it. When you load the radio into the chirp software, you find that frequency, and you'll see a drop-down menu where it says duplex, and it'll either say minus, plus, something else, and then, or it'll be a blank space, minus, plus, and then off. You want to turn that to off. Once you turn that duplex to off, it will not let you transmit on that frequency at all.
K1FFK.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Peter, I got that. But if I was just tuning around on that wideband receiver and wanted to listen to something, I got to watch out, and you know, either that or I got to go in there each time and shut that off for a particular frequency. Okay, I got it. Yeah, very good. I'm going to look into that anyway, Peter. Thank you. Okay, this is November 1, Alpha November Delta, moderator for the Newcomers Roundtable. Are there any other comments, questions, or anything before we leave? Okay, Obi, anything else?
Hey, it's the shortest day of the year. Tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Amount of daylight. Nope, I guess that'll go it. I'm happy, you're happy, everybody's happy. Merry Christmas. N1 QV.
Okay, Obi. Merry Christmas to you too. Winter solstice tonight, right? The beginning, supposed to be the beginning of winter. Here it is, 50 degrees or whatever. I'm going to look at my thermometer. It is 50 degrees. Right on 50 degrees in beautiful downtown Munson. It's crazy. We'll pay. We'll pay for it. Let me drop. All right, this has been a regular weekly or bi-weekly, actually, meeting of the NOVARC N1AND Newcomers Roundtable. I'd like to thank NOVARC, the Northern Berkshire Amateur Radio Club, for the use of this repeater and sponsorship of the N1AND Newcomers Roundtable, which we will now return to normal amateur radio use. And somebody said to me the other day, there is no normal amateurs, so you should say regular. I said, well, I got it written down that way. Thanks to everybody that checked in tonight. It was fun, guys, and let me look. The time is now 8:29. 29 hours. And thanks for all everybody that participated tonight. And we had a nice little discussion. Let me drop one more time. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to anyone that I don't talk to in the meantime. And with that, this closes the Newcomers Roundtable, and we'll see you all later. 7-3. This is November 1, Alpha November Delta. Doug in Munson, Massachusetts. Bye-bye.